I just need to take a second and celebrate the fact that February is finally over. Oh my goodness, what a month it has been that did not go at all according to my plans, desires, or expectations. But you know what? It's fine. It's over, it's done, and we are wiping the slate clean and starting fresh because your girl needs it. As I stated in some previous videos, the month of February has been a little bit of a challenge in my home, and it's because of things that are not important, but the load that it has been taking on me has been leaving me feeling exhausted, burnt out, overworked, and unable to focus on the things that I actually want to focus on. So hopefully, fingers crossed, all of the things, we're going to be on the up and up very, very soon. But despite all of the crazy, all of the, I want to call it drama, but it's not at all drama, actually. It's just life. Life happens, seasons happen, and that's okay. Despite the season that we are in, I do have goals that I have set for the month of March. Some pretty big ones, and then some much more, some might argue like floofy ones. Do they even count as goals? I don't know. I think they count as goals because the goal is to keep on keeping on, if you will. So let's just talk about February for a hot second. Like I said, it was a hot mess, lots of stress on me, whatever. It's fine. I'm fine. Truly, I'm fine. I'm getting through it. I've been sleeping more, and I want to say more, but maybe it's not more. Maybe it's just with more intention and trying to get more restful sleep and things of that nature. And I've been really trying to shut down at the end of the day, and I've been really trying to allow myself the opportunity to, if I need to decompress. But that being said, I have also reinstituted some habits that are not necessarily the best habits because I use them as coping mechanisms, like mindless doom scrolling and things of that nature. And it needs to get addressed, and I need to be able to cope with these things in more effective ways. Something that is very interesting and worth mentioning is that while there have been some not great coping mechanisms like mindlessly scrolling or disengaging from things I need to do, what I have not been doing emotionally has been eating, and that is a win in and of itself. I have finally conquered the emotional eating battle, and I have won, and it feels really, really good. And that's a story for a different day. So let's go ahead and just talk about my goals for March, because February was hit or miss, really more on the miss side. And at this point, I feel no guilt about it. I feel no guilt. I feel no shame. It's just the season of struggle started literally February 2nd. February 2nd, I can put a date on it. One day after I'm like, we're gonna do this thing. So we're just gonna, I did things in February. I did the best I could. I slowed down, but I did not stop. And I'm going to consider that to be the win for the month. So let's just dive in to the month of March. For those of you that are new here, hello, my name is Brianna, and I am the diva behind Diva and the Divine. I'm a wellness coach that has previously spent 15 years knee-deep in diet culture and all of the havoc that has wreaked on me. But I have finally gotten off the dieting roller coaster and gotten on with my life, and now I am coaching other women to do the exact same thing. Here on my channel, you can expect to find things about my food freedom journey, but also lifestyle and things of that nature. And today we're talking about goals, because your girl loves setting goals, and it's even better when I actually achieve them. But you know, it's fine. I use the Cultivate What Matters Power Sheets Goal Planner as my goal setting device, and I love it. I have been using it for 9 years now, and it just makes things so easy. And I'm such a big fan. So that's a tool that you will forever see me using for my goal setting. So let's talk about my tending list for the month of March. You might be able to see up at the top here, I actually wrote down some encouraging words, and these were encouraging words that were actually sent to me by my small group leader. And when she was talking to the girls, we have a girls only thread, and she messaged us one day a couple weeks ago, and it was in the height of all of this chaos after we had just gotten home. And she said, hey ladies, you know, how can I pray for you? what's going on. And so I gave the girls a rundown of what was happening. And the next day she responded with this as she was praying for me and my husband as a couple. And it's from Philippians 4 verse 9. And it is, the same God who takes care of me will supply all of your needs from his glorious riches, which have been given to us in Christ Jesus. And it was just exactly what I needed to hear in that moment, and exactly what I need to be reminded of every single day. So those are the encouraging words that I have put at the top of my page, which I usually, to be honest with you, leave blank. So that's super helpful to be able to see that in real time every time I look at my power sheets. So let's dive into the goals. My monthly goals are goals that have a nice little progress bar here, and they are either things that are one and done, or they are something that I continually work towards to fill that progress bar throughout the month. First up is date night out. Because of all of this chaos, have my husband and I actually been doing our date nights? No, we have not. And I would like to go on at least one. Maybe go out to a restaurant or do something that's just like, hey, let's get dressed up a little bit. Let's look cute. Let's go out with the intention of dating each other. We're usually very, very good at that. And just because of the season we're in, we have not been doing that at all. And that needs to change. Next up is to have a batch week for my content creation. And I do have that in the calendar. It's aligned with the right time of my cycle. It's actually going to be next week, where I'm going to be creating a majority of the content for the entire month for both of my YouTube channels. And I'm very, very excited to be doing that. My next monthly action item is to do 2 of my miniature diamond paintings. I recently got myself a package from the company Paint Gems. And you know, like those big old diamond paintings where like they're color by numbers, but you take little plasticky sparkly rhinestones, and then the result is you get like this diamond painting that shimmers in the light. I freaking love those, quite frankly, because your girl is a glittery girl. And Paint Gems is a company that creates them, but like on a smaller scale. Like they're super tiny and you can do them in 1 or 2 sittings, which I think is really, really nice to be able to complete a project instead of sitting down with a project that can take you days, weeks, maybe even months, depending on the size of the project and how much time you have to devote to it. So I got myself 3 different sets. So I have, I don't know, maybe 40 miniature paintings that I can do. And it's a really great way for me to do something with my hands and get creative and kind of decompress without the use of scrolling on my phone. I really am shooting to get into much more of the creative flow of things, because I used to be so good at that with making music and everything, and I just haven't been. And I really think that that kind of energy, which we'll get into in a second, is much more critical to help me not only survive the season I'm in, but to really start thriving and doing and having life run in the way that I want it to be running. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't. Maybe it's just me. Oh, look at that. My very next goal is something that I wrote down just today because I needed something more, but I needed something that was like, I don't know, I can't explain it, but it is this: lean more heavily into my feminine energy. Feminine energy is definitely a trend that you can see on social media and YouTube right now, and I think it's for a very good reason. A lot of people are discovering that feminine energy has kind of taken a step back to the masculine energy that is out there in the world and in each of us. We both have feminine and masculine energy, and the feminine energy is more flowy and nurturing and receiving and less about tasks and numbers and analytics. And it's just so much more like, what do you picture when you think feminine? It's that, but embodied in like a personality, right? And I want to lean more into my feminine energy because, quite frankly, in the past, and I mean in present day too, but I keep reflecting back on what worked well for me in the past. And when I was in my most thriving, I was creating, I was doing, I was happy, I was playing with my appearance a little bit more, and just all of these things that made me feel like I was in my feminine energy flow. And I don't think it's an accident that I was thriving when I was in that feminine energy. So my month is going to specifically be focused on leaning into that feminine energy more and seeing how that helps me do the things that I want to be doing, live the life I want to be living, and things of that nature. If you're interested in a complete video on how I start to embrace my feminine energy and what it does for me, let me know in the comments below. My next monthly action item is to get my 2024 business finances up to date. Y'all, when we did taxes, which are done. It is not even March. Well, by the time you're seeing this, it's March. But we finished our taxes like 6 weeks in advance, which is amazing. 6 weeks, 7 weeks, something like that. We're done. And it's wonderful. But the pain in the neck of it all was because I'm not diligent about sitting down and actually recording all of the things as a business owner that I should be recording every month. Your girl had to sit and do like it was a whole project of recording all of these things. And I was like, Brianna, if you just sat down every single month and did this, then you wouldn't have to do this when tax season rolls around and your husband goes, it's time to get all of your tax documents together. It would just be done. Why I don't do this, I don't know. But I want to make sure that I start having regular financial dates with myself as a business owner, which I think is super important. I just don't do it. It's one of those things that when I'm overwhelmed, I just shove it up to the side and do nothing instead. That is one of my character flaws, if you will. My personality traits, the way I'm wired is I completely shut down. And I need to stop shutting down because a lot of the times taking these small actions like checking in with yourself financially doesn't take a whole lot of time if you just do it regularly. And then you're on top of your finances, you see the big picture, you have the power to do things with your money, and it's just a great idea. So I'm gonna get up to date with January, February's, and by the end of this month, of course, March's finances. I'm going to read 2 books. Last month, I only read 1 book. And granted, it was a very long, in-depth, much more sciencey type of book, but the previous month, I read 5 books, which just tells you how crazy life has been. I haven't had nearly as much time to read, but also I've been making the choice to scroll instead of read. So we're gonna make a happy little medium here and we're gonna see, can I read 1 more book that I read this past month? And then my last monthly action item is the other work thing I have to do. My course launches this month. Oh my gosh, my course launches this month, which is absolutely insane to me. It launches at the end of March, and it is a course all about finding food freedom, my 5 steps to how I achieved letting go of emotional eating, letting go of food guilt, and being able to be in control of all of the foods that I previously believed were not in my control. If you're somebody who struggles with the jar of peanut butter or firmly believes that you cannot have Easter candy in the house because you will eat it all if you tell yourself you can have some, this course is for you. I'm going to tell you the exact steps, the exact process, the exact mindset shifts that I had to go through to be able to achieve the feat. That is me being able to make a bowl of buttercream frosting and only take a little bit of it and then put it away and not worry about it the rest of the night instead of constantly needing to go back to it. I have cookies and cakes and Rice Krispie treats and chocolate covered Peeps and all of the things that I love in this house, and they do not control me. They do not call me from the kitchen and say, Brianna, come eat me. I'm here and available to you. There is no emotional eating problem anymore, and it's amazing. Food freedom is amazing, and so I want to be able to teach you how to do it as well. That course launches, cart opens at the end of this month. If you want more information, you want to be on the VIP list of my course, go ahead and sign up at the link down below to join the VIP list. That's where all the information is going to be. I cannot wait to see you there. Okay, moving on to my weekly action items. These are things that I'm going to be doing every single week, starting with Lift 4 workouts. Y'all, I started weightlifting again and it feels so good. Now, yes, it feels tight and sore and my body is exhausted, but in the best way possible. I took a really long hiatus from weightlifting, and while I'm going to be approaching it slightly differently, meaning I'm not going to push myself quite as hard and quite as heavy quite as quickly, because I need my energy for other things. And sometimes in my disabled body, I find that I cross that line into, yeah, the workout was great, but then you pay for it functionally for a couple of days. I cross that line too often, and I don't have the time, the energy, or the bandwidth to cross that line right now. So I'm going to be doing weightlifting, doing the program as it is designed, but just using some slightly lighter weights for a while, just to ease myself back into it. But I've started weightlifting again. I have completed the first week of 4 weight training workouts, and it feels so good. Weekly action item number 2 is to meal plan and meal prep. I'm hoping that soon we will be able to start diving into the intention behind my New Year's resolution or my New Year's goal of nourishing my family well with new recipes and big, nourishing, veggie, fruit, forward, Mediterranean diet style food. And I want to be able to sit down and meal plan and understand what my snacks are, what my breakfasts, lunch, and dinners are, all of those things, and then prep accordingly. Here's the thing. When you prep your food, when you have a plan and then you prep and you know what's coming and you prepped your snacks, you don't have to spend as much time in the kitchen. And with all the stuff I have going on this month, I can't afford to spend a lot of time in the kitchen. I can't afford to not know what the heck is going on. And so I really want to get into the swing of this meal planning and meal prepping thing because it will save me time if I do it properly. My next two are something that I have taken out of the book Tranquility by Tuesday by Laura Vanderkam, and that is one big adventure and one little adventure. And the idea is giving yourself one big and little thing to look forward to every single week, and it gets you out of the house. And so I haven't quite figured out how I'm gonna do this yet and what constitutes a big adventure versus a little adventure, but I want to put forth the effort to be able to plan things that are gonna get me excited and get me out of my house because I spend way too much time in my home. And getting out of the house, either being social or just being in the presence of other humans, like going to the mall or something and walking around and window shopping, that fills me. That fills me and it energizes me and it's wonderful. And I just don't do it enough because why? I could stay here, do work, clean the house, cook the things. I can find plenty of things to do, so much so that I can go weeks without leaving the house. I don't, but I could. And so this big and little adventure thing, it's me having a goal of not just getting out of the house, but doing something exciting and giving myself a little bit of anticipation for my big and little adventure. And then once a week, I would like to use my DermaFlash tool. I got a DermaFlash, which is an electronic device that is a dermaplaning tool for Christmas, and I love it, and I want to be diligent about using it every single week. And I have been so far. I've only missed 1 week, and it's because we were traveling that weekend. But every other week since I've gotten it, I've used it, and I love it. And then my daily action items. My daily action items are, well, I was gonna say they're complex, but they're not. They're not at all, but they're just vastly different. First is Bible study, of course. I'm in the season of Lent and I need to be doing my Lenten Bible study every single day. The next one is kind of harsh, but is also kind of needed, and I'm going 5 hours phone free. I need to just put my phone away and just forget that it exists, quite frankly. And so my goal is to be 5 hours phone free every single day. I have a goal of doing a coloring page every single day. Y'all, I downloaded this app, which I think I've downloaded multiple times before, but it's a coloring book app called Pigment. And I decided that I was going to, I needed something else to do. Because I knew that what I was doing with my decompression time and my mindless scrolling was just not effective, and I needed to do something else. I needed another option. So I downloaded this coloring book app, and I got like the free trial of the premium version, which unlocks all of these different things. And then I actually paid for 1 month of it, and I love it. I'm obsessed with it. While we're watching TV at night, I'm always coloring. I'm having so much fun being creative with this digital coloring book. They have so many options, and they also have like a daily, this is not sponsored by the way, they have a daily free download. So like every day of the month, you get a free picture. You don't know what it's gonna be that you can color every single day. But then it also has a huge database of other things you can color as well. I've been loving it so much that I went on like their little subscription options, and I found one that was like $40 for the year. And given the fact that it was $10 for the month, I was like, I think I'm gonna pay $40 for the year of this because it's such a better thing to do with my time than to mindlessly scroll Instagram or TikTok or reload Facebook in the hopes that something interesting is gonna happen. Be creative instead. It's so much better for your brain. So I wanna do a coloring book page every day. And then, this is kind of along the same lines, I was listening to a video about how to embrace your feminine energy and the active things you can do for your feminine energy. And one of the suggestions was create something with your hands for about 30 minutes every single day. Whatever that means. It can mean cooking food. It can mean crocheting, my diamond painting. It can be journaling or drawing or playing in your planner or playing the piano. Doing something that involves usage of your hands is very feminine energy. very creative. And that is exactly what I'm trying to embrace in the month of March. So using my hands, CMT hands are still very functional hands, albeit not normally functional, but that's a story for a different day. And so my goal is going to be to use these hands to create something every day. And then as a little afterthought here, the little to-do list side of things, I actually have a little goal. Glow up. I want to go get my hair cut. I want to go get a pedicure. What else did I say? My eyebrows. And I may or may not treat myself to a massage this month. I found a massage place that's local that sounds really, really fabulous, and I kind of want to go there, so I might treat myself to a massage too. This glow up is also very feminine energy, so I'm into that. I also wrote down goal of feminine energy, and I just wrote down things like appearance, energy of receiving, making little things big, romanticizing the everyday, etc., and then being creative and in flow. And so this is just, it's not a to-do list, it's a reminders list. So when I look at this, I go, oh, these are the feminine energy checkpoints that I'm looking to check off. I have a couple of things that I have to do about my course, and then I just have every video that I want to be doing written down so I can check it off as I do it and feel like I accomplished something. And there you are. Those are my goals for the month of March. I'm so excited to kind of just wipe the slate clean, have these goals that are creative and feminine and flowy, but also achievements. So it's going to be a good month. It's gonna be a good month. In the comment section down below, I would love to hear what a few of your goals are for the month of March. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, as it really does help me out. And if you wanna join the Diva in the Divine community, we would love to have you. You know where that subscribe button is. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that February was good to you, and I cannot wait to see what we as a community do in the month of March. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.